So I'm on the side of the road because I left the dealer, Eurosports, my dealer Eurosports, I got my bike from, on the sales manager Josh's Ducati Scrambler that he's been wanting me to ride, that I kept on refusing to ride because I didn't think they were cool at all. And I realized, oh, I should probably be recording this. So now I'm recording this, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this quick little rip I'm going to do on this thing. This one's heavily modified, as you can tell. The speedo is not where it usually is. It has Rizoma bars, not the stock mirrors, Akrapovic or Termagoni pipe. Lots of goodies on this, actually. My first thoughts after just leaving the dealer with this thing is, this thing's awesome. People don't realize I've been riding sport bikes pretty much my whole life, always sporty stuff, and you gotta pay a decent amount of attention when riding it. You're hunched over, it's a lot of weight, it's just a lot of nonsense you gotta deal with. And this thing, I just threw my leg over, left, and just ripped. It's so easy to just ride, and I love bikes that you can just kind of hop on and just ride. I don't own one because I don't know if I can just, it's hard for me to not own a sport bike. Right now I own the RSV4, my super bike, for various reasons, like performing. But bikes like these, I have a lot of fun on. I understand why people buy stuff like this, because you can just hop on it and just go. It's super easy to ride, super user-friendly. It's cool. I can just kind of chill. I'm not way leaned over. I'm really comfortable on this thing. I don't know if that's because of the bars, the not stock bars or what, but this thing is freaking awesome. The engine feels great. Typical Ducati. I love it. Throttles great. Throttle by wire is really nice. I mean, power-wise, you're not going to win any races, but was this bike meant for that? No, not at all. This bike was meant for you to pull on your flannel shirt with your hipster glasses, throw a leg over, and go meet your boys at the bar for some Pabst Blue Ribbons. That's what this bike was meant for. And this thing's awesome. It just handles so well. I'm really, really impressed with this. I don't know why. At first I was like, Ducati's coming out with this freaking hipster machine, really? Alright, I would rock this thing. This thing is pretty legit. I gotta give him credit. Josh, since you're probably gonna be watching this, sorry I made fun of this Scrambler, but now I understand. Before I left, he even said, he's like, you don't know yet, but you're about to know. I do know. This thing is cool. I'm kind of can I get rid of my RSV4 and have this now? Wow. It definitely has enough power to get you out of sticky situations. It's definitely enough to ride. It's enough for me. I'm liking the power delivery of this. I like how much power I have. Like I said, you're not gonna win any races on this thing, but I definitely I don't know if you compare it in the same class as the Triumph Scrambler, the Triumph Bonneville or the Thruxton, and the MV Agusta, or not the MV Agusta, the Moto Guzzi V7 is probably around that same class. I would definitely take this over either of those bikes at this point. I've ridden all of them because when I worked at Eurosports, test ridden all of them, demo rode them with customers. But this thing is fun. This is definitely Ducati. It handles really well. It feels like a race bike. I mean, it's just awesome. And I'm nowhere near biased. This is the first time I have ridden this thing. I had two Ducatis. I now have an Aprilia that I like so much more. This is my first ride, and it's wow. I'm pretty impressed with this. This is definitely a really cool bike. If I had just the money, I would definitely be investing in one of these. If I just had the money to have extra bikes, this would definitely be a buy after riding this. The brakes could use a little adjusting. The front brake lever is definitely not like my Aprilia. I kind of have to pull this in a decent length, and I two-finger brake, and this thing I kind of have to really two-finger brake to get it to to break. It has enough to get up and go, you know. Definitely enough. This is a great cruising bike. Like, this is awesome. And just, you know, the Termi exhaust. You really just can't beat the Termi exhaust on Ducatis. This bike is very confidence inspiring. And that's a big thing for me on bikes. There's certain bikes where when you go into a corner you just feel like you're gonna die, and it's the truth. Sadly, some bikes are like that. Yeah, these brakes definitely need something. And I've ridden bikes like that before. The 1098, for example, is one of those bikes for me. I could never ride that bike. I've ridden a few and they just don't feel right to me. That year Ducati, just not right. This bike, very confidence inspiring. I go into turns in this and I'm not considering or thinking about the speed at which I'm going into turns. I just feel like it's right every time. And I even have that trouble on my RSV4 sometimes. Where I go into a turn, I'm like, I think I might die in this turn. Just because the speed on those, it just feels a lot different. You're leaned over. You might feel like you're going a lot faster than you really are because of how leaned over you are. This thing is like, I can just kind of dive into the turn, and I am very, very confident with the bike's ability to corner. And this has a lot thinner wheels than my RSV4 does. Not like that's a huge, huge thing, but it definitely makes a difference on me how I feel going into a turn. Coming from a super sport bike, which is all I've ridden, onto something like this is, you know, it opens my eyes to different kind of riding styles, different kind of bikes you have out there, and I'm definitely impressed with this thing. I've had some standard-ish bikes, like some sport street bikes. For example, I had a Ducati Monster, and I had a Ducati Super Sport, and those were both not super bikes. They weren't super sport bikes. They were just kind of, you know, toned down, sporty bikes, street bikes, and they were a lot of fun. But this thing is great. He's gonna make fun of me when I get back and say I want one. Of course, his has a nice modifications to it. I really like these bars. The speedo position makes the bike look good. Is it that great of a position? I don't know, because if I look down, I feel like when I look up, I'm going to be up into someone's ass. So, practicality, I don't know. It makes the bike look really good, though. I love the one mirror. I don't like mirrors on bikes. I don't know why. Just something with me, it just bothers me to see them. But I do like that single mirror over there. That'll work for me. Woman, you are on the way to getting hit one of these times. Don't you have family that can cut your lawn for you? Jeez. This thing takes the hills, the bumps. Oh, it's beautiful. It's definitely not like the RSV4. A whole different animal entirely. And you know what? I can grow to respect an animal like this. I've been riding for 8 years, and this bike, I'm thoroughly impressed. Good job, Ducati. Good job. I like the little, you can see on the gas cap, it says Born Free, 1962. That's a nice little addition. I like little characteristics like that on motorcycles. Ooh, 4C. Look at that. I think that's 4C. That is gorgeous. I do like those Alfa Romeos, definitely. These Ducatis, they have the weird signal switch that I always forget to turn off all the time. It's just the way it's set up is very, very simple, very small. It's kind of easy to forget. It's not the big switches that I'm used to on Japanese bikes, for example, or even on like my RSV4. That Ducati sound is just intoxicating, and that's, you know, one of the reasons why people go with bikes like this. The V-twin is definitely something else. It is really cool. You know, as we always say in the exotic business, it has a lot of character, and in this bike, I can see that in this bike. So, I'm loving this thing. I don't really want to give it back to him. I kind of want to say, hey, take my RSV4 home. I'll take this home. I'll go a long way home. That D-cell sound with the Termis is great. And there's my baby, waiting. Yo, man, do the paperwork, son. Yo, I'm no joke. Do the paperwork, son. You ain't joking. You ain't playing, yo. Oh snap.